Are you frozen?
Nope.
Oh my gosh.
I've managed to master the art of standing so imperceptibly still that I'm invisible to the naked eye.
You didn't even blink. What's up, everyone? My name's Kevin, aka Toying Around. Thank you for clicking on this video. As you can tell from the thumbnail, we are going to be talking about Super7's newly revealed Wave 3 of their Power Rangers Ultimates figures, just announced today. And who better to talk about them with me than my friend, the lead designer, also fellow enabler, Kyle Wlodyga.
Hello.
What's up, Kyle? Welcome back.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. I was telling you before, I am genuinely looking forward to this. It's always cool to just catch up with you because you and I haven't talked in a minute and just talk about Power Rangers, something you and I both love equally.
Love talking Power Rangers with you. Love looking at the stuff that you get to work on. Very cool. Super jealous that you work on this stuff and get all the toys in hand and get to work on all the details and reference materials. And that's always be a fun process. And I'm assuming because I'm probably just romanticizing toys where you're just like grueling through years of footage.
Yeah, I mean, you get it's pretty rad. You get paid to watch Power Rangers, but after the 600th time you've seen him fight, Grumblebee or Lord Zedd or whatever, you're like, okay, so it weighs on you a little bit, but ultimately, like, life is good if that's your biggest problem is watching too much Power Rangers at work and getting paid for it.
Yes, but you are the lead designer for Power Rangers. What other stuff, before we get into Wave 3, what other stuff, lines, properties are you working on or a part of that you think people might be interested in?
Yeah, I mean, I work on a little bit of everything at Super7. Ninja Turtles, people know me for. I do the Rangers. I do Toho stuff. I do a lot of reaction figures. Heavy metal, obviously, is a big part of stuff that I do at Super7. Kind of in all of it, but also in very specific parts. So like animation stuff, it's a different team of very talented designers, and Thundercats and Silverhawks is another team of very talented and different designers. We all get to play to our strengths, which is pretty great. So
Sweet. Always a pleasure to have you here. I understand, along with the images of the figures that were just revealed today, you will have some little special things to show us alongside the images.
I might have some paint masters if we're good. So
All right. So Wave 3, available for pre-order today until May 6th, 2022. You can pre-order them on super7.com. And is there an ETA?
About same time next year, so spring 23 or so. The typical kind of turnaround, but obviously state of the world right now with crazy shipping delays still and plastics being in crazy high demand. Like expect a little bit of turbulence between now and when it gets here.
Sounds good. So we've done 2 videos before for Wave 1 and Wave 2, very similar to this. Make sure you check them out there. And I will add the timestamp 12 minutes later.
There. Mirrored.
Nope. Yeah. Other side. Kyle, why don't you reach over and point to it for me?
This
yeah,
one.
Higher? Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
Boom, boom. There you go.
Let's get to Wave 3. There are some great heroes. There are some amazing villains. There are some Zord that's huge, and I'm really excited to look at all this stuff. All right, let's get it started. You've got some stuff to show us. We're gonna go with the first character in Wave 3. This is the Blue Ranger, Triceratops.
That's right, Billy Cranston, the brains of the operation,
the Donatello, if you will.
That's right.
But look at that. Infinitely cooler.
Yes. I mean, look at that wonderful packaging showing off the Triceratops power coin. Looking good. Why don't we show him the yeah, look at all that stuff he comes with in there. This is a solicitation render. So it's an approximation of what it'll look like in the box. If you look at the very bottom, it says final figure may vary. So this is kind of how we envision it's fitting inside the box. But once we get into the the real nitty gritty, we'll be able to fit them a little bit more efficiently inside the box. So
beautiful
visual approximation. And then there's the full-on sale solicitation showing all the cool stuff he comes with.
All right, we have 2 unmasked heads.
That's right. For Nerd Billy, when he's in the very beginning seasons, when he's a little, he's kind of a nerd, he's not really confident. Remember, he's like not actually a fighter, and they're like trying to like train him with like karate gear, and he is not super great, but then he's a Power Ranger and he's really good. And
He
then
was very fit for your
yeah,
typical TV
yeah.
nerd.
In my like as a kid, I thought that he was like a bodybuilder, and I always thought it was funny that they like just put glasses on this like bodybuilder and like called him a nerd. Looking back now, I realized that he was a very average looking guy, but as a kid, I thought he was like yoked.
I mean,
Uh,
he's still pretty lean. Okay,
yeah,
this is getting into a weird
yeah.
non-action figure territory.
But Billy is one of the only Rangers to like stay with the team the whole time, and
Yes.
I think he's the only one who has the same color coin the whole time too. So we wanted to celebrate kind of both. Like, there's kind of like two sort of phases to Billy, where it's like he's the nerd, he's inventing stuff, he's not as like confident in his abilities, and he's kind of like in the nerd head, he's kind of got that uneasy smile, right? But
Right.
then later seasons, he gets a haircut, he puts in some contact lenses. He's confident. He owns up to it. We call this the glow up Billy, where he's a little bit more confident, a little more sure of himself. That's why he's got the stoic kind of leadership head, is what we call that. But kudos to our sculpt team, because it looks exactly like the actor who plays him.
Yeah, these look fantastic. And no shortage of hands here. You get
Yes.
5 total pairs of hands.
Yeah, fists, gripping hands, open hands, and then martial arts hands. I like it that he's got the fit, like the throat punch kind of hands here. It's a little bit of different fighting style stuff, which is pretty cool. Don't always get to have that.
Are one of the hands the ones he uses, every when they're posing? Every dinosaur has a specific like,
Yeah, like the pose
Jason
hands.
has
Yeah,
the
the air quotes. Yeah,
T-Rex.
yeah. So we looked at that sequence when they're like calling the blue, was it blue unicorn thunderzord power or whatever, like that sequence or whatever. Um, they have like very specific poses and stuff.
Sweet. And in continuing with Wave 1 and Wave 2, you have the toy inspired weapons and accessories here. Which ones
Yes.
would you care to go through those ones real
Yeah,
quick?
with the blade blaster there, the toyetic blade blaster, just like the other ones. And then for those who collected the vintage kind of flip head toys, if you scroll down, we have the vintage inspired power lances, and those ones actually do combine. And I have them. I have them here. I can show them off where they combine a little bit. Here's the full one in its nice silver glory. You can pull that apart, and now you're ready to go with your toyetic power lances. And people may not recognize that where your mouse is hovering right now. That is the anti-sonic foam gun that Billy uses against Grumblebee in a very, very specific episode. It's just a cool looking Blue Ranger specific weapon. And he'll be able to hold it and shoot his anti-sonic foam everywhere and all that stuff. It's really nicely decoed. Got the blue. It's got the big power coin on it.
Nice.
Do I need to do this thing here? Is that it? Is that the pose?
Yep.
Nailed it.
There's never going to be a shortage of blade blasters
That's right.
because I know, knowing you, you want your blade, and I don't mean this as an insult at all. You want to have a blade blaster in every form.
Yes. Just it transforms, and because at that scale, I realize that there are some other figures in larger scales that have ones that actually transform, but in this scale, like the engineering doesn't really make sense for clearances and plastic tolerances. So we just figured, let's just give you all three at once, and you can pose it however.
I love
So
that. 2 more formations of the power lance at the bottom.
that's correct. Yeah. There's the two half staffs, which he can pull apart and use in half, or you'll be able to combine this into the full long power lance
Sweet.
as well. And then you get the quarter lances, which he has a very specific posture where he like throws them overhead into the power blaster.
Oh, nice.
So I always, whenever I see those, I see just chucking them.
Can we get that again so that I can do
You
a
fit?
replay?
No, you
Replay.
can't. No, you get to have it small.
Dang.
Open morpher, so he can morph into the Power Ranger that he is, and then the power crystal, which they use to power up the Zords, and I think they all insert the crystals to do the Megazord sequence,
Yes.
right? Yeah,
All right. And finally, most importantly, we have the figure itself.
that's
Now,
right.
if anyone is watching this video and hasn't seen any videos for Wave 1 and Wave 2, can you just go through real quick the points of articulation on this
Sure,
figure, what it can do?
sure, and I can even do it with the actual one here. These are the paint masters that we'll be showing you here. See, I already dropped that part. So you'll have to bear with me because they're all a little bit fragile, and they won't be able to move, but we can point out where stuff is. So you have the ball jointed head, and there's a disc hinge on there, so he can look up and down really nicely. He'll have, hinged shoulders and bicep swivel as well. There'll be a swivel at the elbow and interchangeable hands as well. And you have the ab crunch here, and there's a ball joint in the waist, so you'll kind of be able to go all the way around in every direction with that, and really
Nice.
adds to that kind of nice torso movement you're looking for in your Rangers. I realize I'm pulling it off camera. You know,
Do it
thighs,
all over again.
thigh swivel on the inside here, and then there's a bend at the knees, obviously, and there's a boot cut as well, boot swivel there, and then nice ankle pivot and interchangeable heads and hands and all that stuff. So there you go. There's your Blue Ranger.
That looks fantastic. Now, for my sake, if I don't know, what exactly is a paint master?
Yeah. So Paint Master is a 3D printed prototype of the figure. It does not typically does not have any functioning joints or anything like that. It's just a print of the figure, and then you paint it as perfectly as possible, and then you send that to the factory and say, match this. So think of it as like a master copy. Like this is the one, like master mold for X-Men, right?
Right.
It's like all the Sentinels are based off of him. After like all the Billies after this will be based off of this guy.
Right. So it's telling them I want my toys, the final production version, to look like this.
Yes, that's correct.
Awesome. And I'm excited for these. Like the helmets look like they have good sculpt and detail on it.
Yeah, and they'll all have like a gloss treatment as well. It's kind of hard to see in this image here on the like in my camera through the paint, but they have the glossy visors and the glossy plastic on the helmet, and so it feels like that motorcycle helmet that they're kind of inspired by. Posed renders for you.
There's the extended power lance combined together
Look at that blade blaster in the holster.
with the right configuration. Beautiful. All right, and then the next ranger in this wave. Yes, this finishes off the core team. The next ranger in this wave is the Black Ranger Mastodon. We have a shot of all the accessories in the packaging. Again, good luck and Godspeed to the packaging team because look at everything this comes with.
Oh yeah,
You guys, when there's two actors who play the role or two different characters as the Ranger, you include both of their heads.
yep, that's right. So you get Zach Taylor and Adam Park in one release. And Zach has his signature flat top from the first season, and Adam has his nice little kind of shaved coif on top as well for
Yep.
there.
Very animated expression on Adam's face. I dig that.
He's usually a little bit more stoic. I
Right.
will agree, but he does smile every now and then, and he's a good looking guy. So we wanted to try and capture that.
All right. And cool part is he comes with optional shield.
That's right. Yeah. Black Ranger is one of the few Rangers that Tommy shared the Dragon Shield power with. So you'll be able to pop the arms off and the head. You put the shield on, and then you can switch those arms out for the gold band version. So he's ready to fight monsters that are slightly stronger with the protection of the Dragon Shield.
Love that. Love that you have the option to remove it and the swappable arms. to make it more accurate
Oh yeah.
as possible. Always appreciate that. And I'm clicking on my wrong screen. You have your toyetic blade blaster,
Mm-hmm.
and is this the flip heads battle axe?
That is the Flip Heads Power Axe, and it looks exactly like it. And I remember because I had Black Ranger was the first one I got, so this like accessory is like ingrained in me.
Will these combine?
No, they will not. But the main weapons will. So
Awesome.
the main power axe, like that little section there, like that slides down so you can make it into the shotgun mode, whatever, and that'll capture the bow from Pink Ranger, and you can clip all the daggers and the lances onto it, put the sword on top, and make the blaster. Yeah, that thing. Yeah.
We have the three configurations of the blade blaster. What is this contraption on the right over here?
That is it's called the ice device or the extinguisher. Billy puts it together, and Zack, I think Zack uses it on this monster called Salaguana, which breathes fire, and so he blasts it. It's like a very fancy looking fire extinguisher that matches his outfit.
You have to match and accessorize.
That's right.
You know,
What's the point
got to do
otherwise?
it in style. Also, 5 pairs of hands, the open morpher,
Hmm.
and the crystal as well.
That's right. The power crystal, the black power crystal.
So, man, once all of these, I mean, this is the main team.
That's right.
Once all of these come out, it's gonna look beautiful. You know, full teams always look fantastic. Who is
Hmm.
your? Are you displaying it with the helmet on, or if not, who are you displaying? Zack or Adam?
I don't know, because I worked on them and I'm so proud of them. I might double dip, and if there's two actors, I would get two, so I can display both ways. Um, have a season. Here's a season 1 shelf. Here's a season 2 and 3 shelf.
Nice.
Stuff like that. But that's just me. It's a little high on my own supply, but if you can't do that, why make toys at all?
Right. Put all the work in.
That's right. So I do have the Black Power Ranger Paint Master. Disclaimer though, the paint got slightly scuffed in shipping, so the final one will actually have very clean lines on the diamonds. But right now it's a little bit blurry looking. So this is Black Ranger in all of his glory here, looking wonderful. These nice whites and blacks, all the diamonds you're looking for. Blade blaster in the holster, like that. You got his
Nice.
power axe here. And that look cool. And then the extinguisher, so you can put out small fires in your house. This is not actually an extinguisher, though. Don't do that. And the dragon shield as well.
Nice.
And those nice
And what
gold.
kind of plastic can people expect for that?
This will be a slightly softer plastic, just so it'll move a little bit when you move the arms, so nothing's hindered when you're trying to pose them, however you want.
Sweet.
And here's the portraits. We'll see how we do here. We'll go one at a time. So here's Adam portrait, and then here is I do this right. Zack. Oh God, looking good.
Those look great.
Yeah, we're really proud of him. So trying to step up our portrait game.
And yeah, it's good timing. Thank you for having them here to
Yeah,
show. You know, the renders always look really good,
yeah.
and I'm always amazed at how detailed it looks. But having the paint masters is just a different level. So
I mean, it
that's
gives
awesome.
you a sense of scale too, right? You see how big it is in hand versus competitive products and things like that. And we typically try to have paint masters to show off, as anybody who's seen our videos knows. It's just the timing on these hasn't worked out so far, but we're very, very fortunate that we were able to get it to work for this one.
We just need something to show your scale of Kyle. A giant Godzilla reaches in and just like, here's a scale, Kevin. Stupid. One of the lovely renders that I referred to.
That's right. A good looking Black Ranger. We're gonna try and get that helmet that glossy. You can see that. those nice shines in the visor and stuff.
All right, we're going to switch gears for a bit. We have those two heroes in the wave. We're going to switch over to the villains. A little warm up here for the villain side. We have Finster, and he's got the Finster currency coin on
That's right.
the slipcase here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of following suit from the other villains like Rita and Goldar and King Sphinx.
Nice. And let's take a look at some of the accessories that he is packed in with.
Oh yeah,
All
he's
right, you know
got.
what? The character looks the figure itself looks so detailed and so much stuff going on. Forget the accessories for now. Let's just brag.
Just
You have to feel happy about how much is going on this figure.
I am, especially for like a lot. I guess quite a few people kind of could think that oh, he's just like an old man who sculpts clay. How compelling of an action figure is that? But his design's pretty incredible. Just looking at through the old original concept art from Japan and looking at how they wind up sculpting it, like there's even more to it here. Though I do see that his ears not painted green on the right side, so that's a bummer. But his ears will be painted green on the right side in the real thing.
Is he like a tree?
Yeah, he's like a tree elf kind of person. So like his ears and like the tip of his nose has like the little leaves on, and the hair in the back has
Yeah, and I see his hands got like a bark like texture
yeah,
with
yeah.
more leaves and stuff. Huh, I didn't notice
Hmm.
that.
Yeah, so he's like a tree man kind of. So it's pretty rad, and it was cool to like be able to capture that, especially because like you were saying, like you've been watching this show for 30 years now, right? And you never noticed that he was a tree before. This the quality of the TV at the time, it didn't allow you to see that.
All right, so we've got his spectacles,
Hmm.
gold. They wrap around his ear.
That's right. They're kind of like these and I think they're his earrings too, which is kind of crazy. So, and those will be like on real chains, so they'll dangle off of
Oh
his.
no way!
Yeah.
Cool. And what's going on with the apron here on the front?
Yeah, so the apron and the shoulder pads is plastic, like low durometer plastic, so it's kind of rubbery. You want to move out of the way, but then all the white you see on his body, that's all soft goods done by our good friend CJ.
Nice,
Yeah.
sweet. And these are all sculpted on accessories, right?
They are all sculpted on. They're all fully sculpted on. They're all painted. You can't remove them from there just because getting all of those off to like snap on and off would kind of be pretty crazy. But we did separate the palette knife from there, so we can actively sculpt his toys and whatnot. And then the magnifying glass hangs separately too. That'll be on a nice little
So this is
string.
the palette knife.
Yep,
Okay, I'm not a sculptor, Kyle. I don't know these things. Come on.
all good. Well, palette knives are actually for painting, if you can believe it.
This is his magnifying glass.
Yes.
And is it a solid piece? Is it also a chain?
Yeah. So I think it's going to be a solid piece. It'll just kind of hang over his neck. So
Cool. And what's the articulation looking like on the figure?
So it's actually very, very similar to the male Ranger bodies. So he'll have the ball joint waist and the neck that's on the hinge disc, the hinge ball peg, so you can look around and all that. Similar shoulders, similar elbows, similar ab crunch, and the way that the legs function as well. He just has some new parts in the forearms and the legs to make him accurately shorter than the male Rangers as well, because he's kind of a little guy.
Right.
That is something that I think the visual approximation of the box doesn't accurately portray. I don't think he'll fill out that much, but he does look good next to the Rangers in scale correctly.
You've got some hands in different various positions.
Yeah, I his gripping hands, so you can he's got fists, he's got his gripping hands, and with both vertical and horizontal hinges, so he can sculpt in all directions, and then some nice open expressive hands, so he can wave hi to the camera and you know give Rita a high five or whatever.
I don't think he does that, does he?
Maybe off camera.
No, he's generally messing up. I don't think he's giving high fives to
Yeah,
anyone.
he generally does not do a good job.
He
Correct.
is very underappreciated.
He is.
I love little accessories. You have 3 little clay putties, and
That's right.
also
King Sphinx and Pudgy Pig in their clay sculpture form before he puts them through the Monster-Matic.
he's adorable. Looks like a little kitten.
Yeah, it's super cute. I was always impressed with how much work the Monster-Matic did, because Finster sculptures usually look about this good, and then he puts them into the Monster-Matic, and then they look like those crazy monsters that we know and love. So the Monster-Matic's pulling a lot of weight on the
Yeah,
monster creation side.
it's taking some artistic liberties there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I've never noticed the little tree kind of green details, especially right in the center of his face.
But they're there after watching it however many times. You can see it if you look close enough. I do have a paint master here, so we can kind of see what he looks like in hand. If we're interested. So this is Finster in hand. Note that because it's the paint master and they're all resin, I don't have a back to him, but the apron will wrap around him and kind of cinch the soft goods in place here, and it won't be Velcro on the back. It'll all be sewn up.
It's the hospital gown. Can you see his like his bare butt cheeks underneath?
That's right. It's a lot of tree bark down there. Uh,
Nice.
but you can see, he's got his nice eyes. He's got his fully painted head with the ears,
Oh, that looks great.
and yeah, the earrings, all the accessories painted in here. All of his sculpting tools in his little pouch. Yeah. Then the magnifying glass will go on his head here and kind of hang down. He's got his palette knife here as well. It's pretty big. And then let's see, you got the Pudgy Pig, right?
Awesome.
And your King Sphinx as well.
That's so cool, but I'm gonna lose that so fast.
Well, if you think that's small, the putties are even smaller.
Oh god.
So
You know what's gonna happen? I'm gonna unbox him, put him back,
they're gonna
put
fly everywhere.
no, put the case on, the sleeve, the shipper, put it back. There's gonna be one putty left on my table because it was too small and I didn't see it, and I got to go through all the gates of security back into the Pentagon to put him back.
Yeah, probably. And we designed that. We designed it to be that way with you in mind.
Never fails. Every Ultimates that I put back, something that I missed,
Always miss one thing.
and then you get a photo from me because it's just like the
Yeah,
shipper box and an item on top, and you know exactly what happened.
I do. That's true, and they're always hilarious.
The big bad
There he is.
main villain of this wave, Lord Zedd, with a nice, beautiful box as well. Everything that's going on inside. Kyle, why don't you let us know about what's going on with Zedd here, everything he comes with, and
Oh
the
yeah,
articulation on the figure itself.
yeah. I mean, Lord Zedd is fully loaded, ready to become emperor of all he sees. He's got alternate heads. He's got a Z staff. He's got a snake, which is a deep cut, but we'll go into the main figure first. So he's got two
For the
heads.
untrained eye, not me, of course. What's
Yeah,
the difference between these two heads?
they do look very similar. For those who know Lord Zedd, you know that instead of the repulsoscope, he uses his Zedd vision, and it's his eyes glow kind of bright red, and then he looks down at Earth and spies on the teenagers and sees what they're up to. So these will be two different paint apps on the visor. One that's normal, which is kind of like the darker, and then one that's the bright Zedd vision red.
The main figure,
Yep.
he's got the disc for the head.
Yes, he's got the
Head
ball
banging.
hinge there, this and you'll be able to tilt and all that stuff because it's a ball joint. Then bicep swivel and the shoulder joints as well. And there's a nice. It's kind of hard to see, but there is a diaphragm cut right underneath the that
Yeah,
silver kind of plate right there. You can
yeah.
kind of follow it
You can
there.
kind of see the line
Yeah,
there.
yeah, exactly. We tried to blend it into his. I used to know what those muscles are called, but you get it. There's a swivel there at the torso, but there's a ball joint at that diaphragm, so he'll be able to do all kinds of cool poses there because it's got a really nice range of motion.
Nice.
Um, hinges and swivels at the elbows, interchangeable hands,
Bicep
and
swivel?
yeah, bicep swivel cuts
Okay.
right where that like top part of the
This
armor
top
is.
band here?
Yeah, yeah, there. Thigh swivel as well, and then the hinges, hinge and swivel knees, and then full on ankle rockers at the bottom as well.
Sweet. I can't wait to see how this comes out, man.
It's gonna be crazy because I'll show you the paint master here in a second
Oh
because
yes, that's right. You
it's
have
pretty. I do. I have to go get it, but I do have it. The obviously you get the Z staff, his signature weapon with that crazy blade at the bottom.
yes.
Um, uh, all the awesome hands. You get the snake, which that's sort of the deep cut accessory for this one. There's a very particular scene in season 2 where Zedd has captured Kimberly, and Tommy goes in to rescue her, and he fights Zedd, and I think he shoots like a lightning bolt out of Saba, and it turns Zedd's staff back into the snake that it originally was, and
Nice.
he'll be able to hold it, and you know
That would be a
if you
cool
don't,
accessory.
yeah, if you don't, it's just a cool snake accessory, and if you don't want to recreate that scene specifically, you can use it to have him like do his show at Vegas or
Looking
something.
fabulous.
Yeah, exactly.
And the finish on the staff.
It's gonna be metallic paint, not
Oh,
necessarily vac metal, but it is gonna be. We feel that we've cracked the code on lustrous silver paint. If anybody has any of our reaction figures in Power Rangers, the silvers on those and the silvers and golds on those are pretty ridiculous. So we're confident that we're gonna be able to get this guy to shine like crazy.
awesome. I don't know why. Hands usually they just look so plain because they're just hands. But this little pointing one right here it seems so iconic for Zed that like immediately when I saw it, I'm like, whoa, this looks good as an accessory for Zed. It's just a hand, Kevin.
Well, he's always barking orders, right? So
Yeah.
it's almost like hands you can hear, right? It's like I don't have a Zed impression. It's not a I don't have a Goldar is my only impression.
Just go
So
for it.
no, I can't do it. I'm not.
And also you have
Growth bombs.
teaser image a few
Mm-hmm.
days ago
Mm-hmm.
with
That's
the
right.
bombs as well.
He's holding the growth bombs with his big old claws. I think people called him Dr. Claw from that angle, which it kind of is the Dr. Claw angle. But for Zedd here, the first thing you will notice is that he does not have the tubes. So the Paintmaster, the tubes would be a little bit too fragile for us. But rest assured, the final one will have the tubes all over the place. So yeah,
It's fantastic.
he looks awesome. Oh, see his legs are falling apart a little bit already.
Ooh, let's see the spiny spine because you don't really see that in the renders.
Yeah, isn't that great?
Ain't it great?
um, and let's see here. Got his Z staff, which is like longer than most pens that I use.
You look
Uh,
like you're about to I don't know, sign the Declaration of Independence.
or declaration of Zedd dependence, where like he rules everything, right?
Nice. Nice pun.
Thank you. Here's the snake too, right?
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and it would just be cool, like as an accessory, like for scale, like to other people too, not just Zedd, right? Get all the growth bombs, right? Too, which is cool.
Nice.
What's crazy about the staff is like it next to him, like it's because he's huge, right?
Yeah.
And to put that hugeness into perspective, um, here he is next to Blue Ranger.
Holy crap.
Yeah,
Home. So he's upwards of with the helmet, the tip of the helmet. How tall?
tip of the helmet. I think he's 8.
That is insane.
Yeah, yeah. He's incredible. He looks awesome.
Is he a deluxe or is he just the same pricing as?
Same price on as everybody else on this guy. The Megazord is deluxe. So
Okay.
just because he's so thick. Yeah, that's the shot.
There's the pose, right? There's the hand that I was talking about.
That's it right there. It. I don't know how a render team did it, but that looks like the show to me. There's like always like that like spooky like fog machine going on in the Moon
Yeah.
Palace when he was
Yeah.
around.
Well, this throne that we see here, it's not just a render for a background.
It's not.
Much like Monstar's throne
Yes.
in Silver Hawks, you can get a separate throne accessory.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, highly detailed. It's this. I'm assuming it's the same object here in this image.
It
You
is.
can get this separately. Tell us about this throne, Kyle.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge, it's big, it's beautifully detailed. It's got the big Z on the back, which is the first thing you see. I think in Zedd's intro is you see the Z, and then it turns and it rotates. And you see the flayed man that is Lord Zedd. It's got all this awesome dry brushing and cool sculpted detail from like the rock formation in there. He's got those nice little like eagle armrests or whatever, with little eagle feet. I do have a paint master here. You can see in my hands, it is absolutely huge.
Dang.
Get the back, right? It's killer. Looking super cool.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
If you feel like Zed needs his throne, you have the option of getting it here,
Mm-hmm.
and
Absolutely.
this is priced. If the main figures are what 55 US,
55. This one is 45. But I mean,
45,
you can see how he scales with it, right? With the throne. I can't make him sit down because he's a paint master,
right?
but you know, standing in front of it, around it, next to it, it's pretty cool.
And he should be able to achieve this sitting pose.
Yes, absolutely. Um, that's there. There's like a little bit more of a gap than we usually like to leave in the like between the body and the legs, and that's because he can kick all the way out to sit down like that.
Oh yeah, I did notice that in the render. Hold on.
So normally we would
Earlier.
close that more, but because we want him to be able to sit in the throne, we added that a little bit there. So there's room for him to kick out straight and sit down in the throne.
Yeah, noticed it in the images earlier. Just didn't click.
Mm-hmm. Every move is planned, my friend.
Look at you, calculated. So you have two rangers, two villains, optional throne, the final one, the centerpiece. I mean, this is what it's all about, and we're getting it here in Wave 3.
That's right.
Here's the box. I love, it's the Megazord. You're gonna have all of the dinosaurs and animals there together in
Yeah.
one image.
It's based on the coin that's like when they summon it or whatever.
Yeah,
It's all there.
and we're gonna talk about that coin in a second.
Yep.
Here we go, Megazord. Um, you mentioned earlier it's a little bit of a deluxe. How tall is this thing? How is it going to move, Kyle?
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear about it.
Yeah. He's 8 inches tall, so he scales with the other swords in the waves that have been solicited previously. So the Tyrannosaurus, Dinozord, and the Dragonzord, and the monsters as well. He scales with all of those guys, so he can fight them all. He's really thick in basically every direction. So he's 8 inches tall, and then 5 or 6 inches wide, and 4 to 5 inches deep. He's kind of crazy. And the sword, I mean, the sword's almost as tall as him. It's kind of he's got all kinds of crazy stuff.
So
So
good.
yeah, the head, there'll be a ball joint at the head, so we'll be able to look all around. There's not an ab crunch, but there is an ad. I'm trying to think of the word for it. It doesn't go forward and back. It actually goes side to side.
Okay.
So it's like it rocks on this like side to side kind of arc here, so you'll be able to kind of get some movement there. But there's a swivel at the base of the torso too, so you'll be able to do more poses than you really think you can with that. The like shorts part of the Megazord, I guess you could call it, is going to be low durometer, so it's not going to inhibit any of the movement in the legs or the thigh swivel or anything like that. And then single joint swivel at the knees, and then they're actually the heads of both the tiger, the saber-tooth tiger, and the triceratops are separated inside of those legs, so they'll be able to have nice little ankle pivot and some. You'll be able to get your feet flat and be able to do the poses that you want with your Megazord as well.
That's good to hear.
And then arms, the shoulders, it rotates and then it swings out too. It's kind of this new kind of like J hinge thing that we're working on with Transformers. It's very similar to Transformers in
Okay.
certain way it's articulated, and then joints at the elbows, and then interchangeable hands.
And it looks like there's a little bit of chrome on the hands there.
It's a nice metallic paint, yeah. And then he comes with the Mastodon shield here, which you'll be able to put in either hand with the gripping hands, and then the gripping hands there, and then the Mega Power Sword to the right here, which he calls out of the sky and it comes down and he
Yes.
smites the monsters with.
Here's a coin, real quick.
He does have a coin, which will be a nice metal coin, and it'll have the Jew Ranger Z on the back, like the actual power coins did in the show.
Nice.
Cool.
And the previous Zords in Ultimates also came with a coin as well.
They did, yeah. So the plan is if there's a Zord and there's a coin for it, and we will give you that coin.
We have two tiny little Rangers that you can use on your displays or photography. Pink Ranger, Yellow Ranger. We call on the power of...
We need Megazord power now. Yeah.
Awesome.
Hell yeah.
And how big are those?
They're about an inch tall or so, ish. I would need to measure them again. I have them here somewhere, but they're like this ish tall. You'll see them in a second.
Here he is in the classic sword shield pose. Can't wait to see what's... I mean, wait, do you have the Paintmaster?
I do. There are a few little things that we're still going to change, but it gives you a sense of the scale on this Megazord.
Sweet.
So, it's kind of you have to pardon me. I'm trying to let you see all the details while also holding him securely and having him not break anything. So,
Oh my gosh, look at the details on the side there on the saber-tooth tiger.
Oh yeah, on the back here, right, and on the Triceratops here, all that. So there's the saber-tooth tiger one again.
Sick.
Yeah. So he's really big. Blue Ranger is going to be our kind of average comparison here. So here's Blue and here's the Megazord. So they are. He's a big guy. He's very, very thick. This is actually kind of hard to do. He's like 1.5 pounds in Paintmaster form. So I'm going to put him down.
Sweet, man. I'm glad they're the same size as the other Zords, the monsters. You can have them fight.
Yeah, that's been the goal the whole time.
Right.
Was to have them in scale so the Zords can fight the monsters and vice versa. Here is his sword, the Mega Power Sword. Again, basically the size of like a dinner knife you could use in real life. And you get the Mastodon shield too, which looks awesome. And there's a nice handle in the back.
Nice.
So you can hold on to that. Your gripping hands, and then here's the coin as well.
Oh, I'm a sucker for coins. I don't know why. What do I do with them? I don't do anything with them. But they just look good. It's just something tangible in hand, right?
And then this will be the hardest one to show off, but get the Yellow Ranger.
Awesome.
And the pink.
There's Wave 3, Blue Ranger, Black Ranger, Megazord, Finster, Lord Zedd, and Zedd Chair, not pictured here. But this looks like another killer wave.
Oh yeah. We're very excited about this wave, and we're very excited to complete the team too.
These are available for pre-order right now until May 6th on Super7.com. We'll be there. And what kind of... This is Wave 3, and while it's exciting, the pictures and renders all look exhilarating and wonderful. It's different when you want to see something in hand, right? Like
Right.
what's going on? Can you give us a little something about
Sure.
Wave 1? What's going on?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, it's no secret that kind of things are crazy right now in the world of product development and just shipping and logistics and plastic prices and all that stuff. So they are still wave one and two are still on track for this year, but it is just slated for a little bit later than we were hoping for this year. So anybody who has any questions about the status of any pre-orders can go to super7.com, and there is a pre-order status update page,
Oh, I
which
forgot
has
about that
all of
page.
the information you could ever want and more about each of the pre-orders that are currently available and open at super7.com.
I forgot about that page. Good thing that you made it for everyone who doesn't read like me. Um,
Well,
but
we'll be
hey,
sure to link it in the description of this video too for everyone.
yes, I already have because the magic of editing. But
That
hey, once you get these in hand, a complete team, these giant chunky Zords, I, I'm sure it's gonna be fantastic and loads of fun, man.
Yeah, we're very excited about this guy. I'm personally excited about all of these guys. Like, uh, be able to make action figures of some of our favorite characters of all time is like it's always a blessing, and we're always grateful for the opportunity.
Do you have any worries now that you've by Wave 3 rounded out the team, the main team? There's obviously still going to be other characters. Is there a worry that it's wrapped up at 3, or can we
Mm.
expect a lot more stuff?
No, we're there. There is no worry because there is such a rich, crazy volume amount of characters that you can pull from just from Mighty Morphin alone. Because it's the comic books have expanded it. There's literally a monster every week, right?
Right.
So then there's we haven't even scratched, like we've done 3 Zords total, and there's at least 20 I can think of right now. So we're not worried. If anything, we are just getting started. Now that like the team is complete, like that's when people should like be very excited about like what we're like really doing. Obviously, everyone wants the complete team, but
Yeah.
like now that like okay, like the team is complete, like we can do anything now. And I think people saw that with our turtles a little bit.
Hmm.
And so I think there's going to be a similar level of like deep cuts and classic characters and stuff that people aren't expecting. That is going to be that's really exciting to me and to us. So we're not worried at all.
The only people who should be worried are people buying the stuff because there's going to be so much stuff coming.
Nah, it's not a worry. It's a blessing of plastic,
I
right?
just wanted to make it sound like a threat. I'm worried. It's going to be a lot of stuff. If you want to see more of these pictures, I will have the full high res photos available over on toyingaround.ca, where this video will also be linked to as well. So you don't have to screenshot and screenshot the video. You can go get the photos there. Super7.com will have it on the pre order page. Grab it while you're pre ordering them. Available today until May the 6th. Well, Kyle, another solid looking wave that I'm very excited to see and have in hand, and play with and take photos with. I still think I do that, but incredible work as always, and thank you
Thank
for your time put into these, your time here chatting with me, and of course showing us the paint masters. It's very cool. Thank you.
Yeah, anytime, man. I'm always down to talk Rangers. I'm excited to do this again with every wave coming. It's gonna be really
Please
cool.
welcome back anytime when we can chop it up over this stuff.
Awesome. Ready.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, share with your friends, let them know all the awesome information that Kyle has dropped here regarding these figures, and let them know. And thank you for watching. Keep toying around. Peace.
Bye, guys.